Tucked away in the depths of the forest, hidden from prying eyes, stood the forgotten ruins of an asylum, a place of unspeakable horrors and tragic tales. The asylum had long been abandoned, its once imposing walls now crumbling and overgrown with ivy. But the echoes of its dark past still lingered, whispered by the wind that moaned through broken windows and twisted corridors. Curiosity drew a group of urban explorers to the decaying asylum one moonlit night. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they ventured into the shadows, eager to uncover its secrets. The air was heavy with a sense of dread as they crossed the threshold, the floorboards groaning beneath their weight as if warning them to turn back. In the main hall, they found evidence of the asylum's grim history. Rusty shackles hung from the walls, and faded photographs littered the floor, each one a haunting reminder of the lives that had been shattered within these walls. As they delved deeper into the asylum's labyrinthine corridors, the air grew colder, and a sense of unease settled over them like a shroud. Whispers drifted through the darkness, faint at first but growing louder with each passing moment. The explorers exchanged nervous glances, their skin prickling with the sensation of unseen eyes, watching their every move. In one of the patient rooms, they encountered a chilling sight. A wheelchair, its restraints still stained with dried blood, sat in the center of the room as if waiting for its next occupant. A sense of overwhelming sorrow washed over the group as they realized the suffering that had taken place within these walls. Their cameras captured fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures darting out of sight, their tortured wails echoing through the empty corridors. Desperate to escape the suffocating atmosphere of the asylum, the explorers made their way to the attic, hoping to find a way out. But as they climbed the creaking stairs, the whispers grew louder, urging them to stay, to join the lost souls that haunted the asylum's decaying halls. In the attic, they found a room filled with tattered remnants of patient records, names scribbled in fading ink, each one a tragic tale of madness and despair. As they frantically searched for an exit, the whispers became deafening, a cacophony of anguished voices pleading for release. In a panic, the explorers stumbled upon a hidden passage, a narrow tunnel that led deep into the earth below the asylum. With no other options left, they plunged into the darkness, the walls closing in around them like the embrace of the damned. Only one of the explorers emerged from the depths of the tunnel, his mind shattered by the horrors he had witnessed. To this day, the ruins of the asylum stand silent and abandoned, a grim reminder of the darkness that lurks within the human soul. But on certain nights, when the wind howls through the trees and the moon casts an eerie glow upon the crumbling walls, the whispers of the forgotten asylum can still be heard, a haunting lament for those who were lost within its decaying embrace. In the heart of Louisiana's plantation country, nestled among sprawling oak trees and fields of sugarcane, lies the Myrtles Plantation, a place steeped in history, tragedy, and a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted houses in America. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, the Myrtles Plantation began as a humble two-room cottage. Over the years, the plantation grew in size and grandeur, becoming a sprawling estate with a reputation for elegance and opulence. However, behind the facade of Southern charm and hospitality lurked a darker history, a history marred by tragedy and bloodshed. One of the most infamous tales associated with the Myrtles Plantation is that of Chloe, a slave woman said to have been involved in a love affair with the plantation owner. When the affair was discovered, Chloe was punished severely. Her ear was cut off as a warning, and she was forced to wear a turban to hide the disfigurement. In an act of revenge, Chloe baked a cake laced with oleander leaves, a poisonous plant. Her intention was to make the family sick, then nurse them back to health to earn their favor once more. However, her plan went tragically wrong when two of the children died from the poison. Chloe was swiftly punished by the other slaves, who hanged her from a tree on the plantation. Her spirit is said to linger within the walls of the Myrtles, forever seeking redemption for her terrible deed. The Myrtles Plantation is said to be home to at least a dozen restless spirits, each with their own tragic tale to tell. One of the most commonly reported apparitions is that of a young girl named Ghost Girl or Sarah Woodruff. Legend has it that Sarah died tragically on the property at the tender age of 10. Visitors to the plantation claim to have seen her wandering the grounds, her ghostly figure dressed in antebellum clothing. Another well-known spirit is that of William Winter, a former owner of the plantation. It is said that Winter was shot on the front porch of the Myrtles, and his ghost is often seen staggering up the stairs, leaving behind bloody footprints as he goes. The ghostly figure of a woman in a green turban, believed to be Chloe, has been spotted in the plantation's mirrors and windows. Some guests have even claimed to feel a cold hand brush against their cheek, as if Chloe is still seeking forgiveness for her actions. Visitors and residents of the Myrtles plantation have reported a myriad of unexplained phenomena over the years, ranging from ghostly apparitions to inexplicable sounds and sensations. One of the most chilling accounts involves the plantation's mirrors, which are said to hold a portal to the spirit world. Guests have reported seeing ghostly figures reflected in the glass, only to turn around and find no one there. Doors slam shut on their own accord, footsteps echo through empty hallways, and objects move of their own volition. Some guests have even reported feeling a spectral presence lying down beside them in bed, only to find themselves alone when they turn on the lights. The Myrtles plantation has become a hotspot for paranormal investigators who flock to the estate in search of evidence of the supernatural. Countless EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings have captured ghostly whispers and unexplained voices. Photos taken on the property often reveal orbs of light and strange mists, believed to be manifestations of the spirits that haunt the plantation. One particularly chilling investigation involved a group of psychics who claimed to have made contact with the spirits of the Myrtles. During a séance in the plantation's parlor, they reported feeling a powerful presence, as if the room itself was alive with energy. The psychics claimed to have communicated with the spirits of Chloe, Sarah Woodruff, and William Winter, each providing cryptic messages and pleas for recognition. Today, the Myrtles plantation stands as a living testament to the history and tragedy of the American South. Tours of the plantation are conducted regularly, allowing visitors to explore its haunted halls and perhaps catch a glimpse of the restless spirits that call it home. Despite its eerie reputation, the Myrtles remains a popular destination for weddings, events, and overnight stays. Brave souls can even spend the night in one of the plantation's haunted rooms, where they may encounter the ghostly inhabitants firsthand. For the residents of St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Myrtles plantation is more than just a haunted house. It is a living, breathing piece of history, a reminder of the dark and tragic past that still lingers in the shadows. As night falls over the Myrtles and the mist rolls in from the Mississippi River, the spirits of Chloe, Sarah Woodruff, and William Winter continue to roam its hallowed halls, their stories echoing through the centuries. Every town has its stories, its legends whispered in the shadows of late-night gatherings. In the small village of Ravenswood, there was one tale that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls, the legend of the Whispering Woods. It was said that deep in the heart of the forest, where the trees grew so thick that the sunlight struggled to penetrate the canopy, there was a presence that whispered to those who dared to venture too close, luring them deeper into its tangled embrace until they were lost forever. One chilly autumn evening, a group of teenagers, fueled by bravado and the daring of youth, decided to put the legend to the test. Armed with flashlights and nervous laughter, they made their way to the edge of the Whispering Woods. As they entered the darkness of the forest, the air grew thick with an eerie stillness. The crunch of fallen leaves beneath their feet seemed unnaturally loud, echoing through the trees like a warning. The first whispers came as a faint rustling in the leaves, barely discernible over the sound of their own breathing. They laughed nervously, attributing it to the wind playing tricks on their ears. But then the whispers grew louder, closer, wrapping around them like tendrils of mist. Words began to form from the ethereal murmurs, words that spoke of forgotten sins and ancient regrets. Panic set in as they realized they were no longer in control of their own movements. Their flashlights flickered and died, leaving them in utter darkness as the whispers grew to a crescendo of chilling laughter. One by one, the teenagers disappeared into the blackness of the forest, their screams muffled by the relentless whispers that now filled the air. Only one managed to escape, stumbling out of the woods hours later, pale and trembling. When asked what had happened, all he could do was mutter about voices in the darkness, urging him to join them in their eternal torment. From that day on, the Whispering Woods became a place of dread, its legend growing with each passing year. Some say the lost souls of those unfortunate teenagers still wander its shadowy depths, their anguished whispers a haunting reminder of the price of curiosity. And on certain nights, when the wind howls through the trees and the moon casts an eerie glow upon the forest floor, the whispers can still be heard by those brave enough to listen. But beware, for once you hear the whispers of the Whispering Woods, you may find yourself drawn inexorably into its depths, lost forever to the darkness and the eternal torment of the lost souls who dwell within. In the heart of the countryside, nestled among the rolling hills and ancient forests, stood Hollow Grove Manor, a grand estate with a history steeped in darkness. Legend had it that the manor was cursed, its walls echoing with the tormented souls of those who had met tragic ends within its halls. On a cold, moonless night, a group of paranormal investigators arrived at the manor, eager to uncover the truth behind the whispered tales. As they entered the imposing foyer, the air grew heavy with a sense of foreboding. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet as if protesting their intrusion. Their equipment crackled to life with static, and the temperature plummeted, sending chills down their spines. They ventured deeper into the manor, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. Each room they entered seemed to hold its own malevolent presence, as if the very walls were watching and waiting. In the grand ballroom, they encountered the first sign of the manor's dark history. A spectral figure, its features twisted in agony, danced alone in the moonlight that filtered through the dusty windows. The investigators froze in terror as the figure turned its hollow gaze upon them, its spectral form swaying to a haunting melody that echoed through the empty room. Whispers filled the air, chilling voices that spoke of betrayal and despair. Shadows danced along the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes that seemed to reach out for them. With trembling hands, the investigators continued their exploration, each room revealing more horrors than the last. They encountered apparitions of long-dead servants, their faces contorted in silent screams of agony. In the darkened library, they found the source of the manor's curse, an ancient tome bound in human skin, its pages filled with forbidden knowledge and unspeakable rituals. As they pored over the cursed book, the manor itself seemed to come alive with rage. Furniture flew across the room, doors slammed shut with a deafening roar, and the very walls groaned in protest. Realizing the danger they were in, the investigators fled for their lives, pursued by the vengeful spirits that haunted the manor's halls. Only one managed to escape the clutches of the manor's curse, his sanity shattered by the horrors he had witnessed. To this day, Hollow Grove Manor stands abandoned, a crumbling relic of a bygone era. But those who dare to venture too close speak of strange lights in the windows, and mournful wails that echo through the night. The manor's dark secrets remain hidden within its decaying walls, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to awaken the vengeful spirits that dwell within. Deep in the English countryside, nestled among the rolling hills of Essex, stood Borley Rectory, a place shrouded in mystery, tragedy, and an enduring reputation as the most haunted house in England. Built in 1862, the rectory was home to the Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull, his wife, and their 14 children. From the moment they moved in, strange and inexplicable occurrences plagued the family. Footsteps echoed through empty hallways, doors slammed shut on their own accord, and ghostly figures were seen gliding through the dimly lit rooms. The Bull family endured these unsettling events for years, until the Reverend Bull's death in 1892. After his passing, a new family, the Smiths, moved into Borley Rectory, only to be met with even more terrifying phenomena. Mrs. Smith reported seeing the ghostly apparition of a nun drifting through the garden, while her daughters claimed to have heard phantom bells tolling in the dead of night. In 1928, the rectory came under the ownership of Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his wife Mary Ann. They soon found themselves at the center of a maelstrom of paranormal activity, unlike anything they had ever experienced. Objects levitated and flew across rooms, mysterious footsteps echoed through the halls, and messages appeared on the walls written in chalk, messages that seemed to be from spirits pleading for help. Desperate for answers, the Smiths enlisted the help of renowned paranormal investigator Harry Price. Over the course of his investigations, Price documented a litany of strange occurrences, including disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and unexplained cold spots. One of the most chilling incidents involved Mary Ann Smith, who claimed to have been physically attacked by an unseen force, leaving her bruised and terrified. Price's investigations also uncovered a tragic tale from Borley Rectory's past, the story of a nun from a nearby convent who had fallen in love with a monk from the nearby monastery. Their forbidden love affair ended in tragedy when the nun was bricked up alive in the walls of Borley Rectory as punishment for breaking her vows. The nun, known as the Borley Nun, was said to roam the halls of the rectory, her ghostly presence forever haunting the grounds. Despite Price's efforts to uncover the truth, Borley Rectory remained a place of unrelenting terror. In 1939, tragedy struck once again when a fire consumed the building, leaving it a charred and blackened shell. The ruins of Borley Rectory were demolished in 1944, but the haunting tales of its spectral inhabitants live unto this day. Countless witnesses have reported eerie encounters with the ghostly Nun, as well as the spirits of Reverend Bull and other former residents. The legend of Borley Rectory continues to captivate the imagination of paranormal enthusiasts and historians alike, its dark and tragic history forever etched into the fabric of England's haunted past. To this day, visitors to the site report feelings of unease, strange noises echoing through the empty fields, and sightings of ghostly figures drifting among the ruins. Borley Rectory remains a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows, a testament to the enduring power of the supernatural and the chilling tales of those who dare to explore its haunted grounds.